during 5 to 5:30. Now remember, standard text messaging rates apply. A bankruptcy court judge sides with Chrysler, approving a plan to close 789 dealer franchises. The automaker is trying to sell its assets to Fiat. Chrysler is working to reduce its dealer ranks by about 25%. Part of the process. Your Twin Cities General Motors dealership has been saved from elimination.
Fox 9's Rob Olson's live in the newsroom with how the store owner fought back.
Well, he was armed with hundreds of emails from customers and got the influence of a U.S. senator. The Walzer Group made a case to GM last week in Washington to spare their store. And in Bloomington today, a lot of smiles because it worked.
Very important to me because I like the way they do business.
If I didn't know better, I'd have thought Lilla Aikens had been hired by Walzer and planted in their service area.
I would rather come this far and do business with them than anywhere else.
But the St. Louis Park woman that we found in the Bloomington Buick Pontiac GMC is a living, breathing testimonial to brand loyalty.
Saved my life.
She owes her life to a Buick, she says, so she's spent her life driving them.
The Skylark saved my life. I'll never forget that. That was in 1971.
And loyal to this dealership, so she didn't like the news it was being cut by GM.
I was really unhappy to hear that.
But in the car business, like life, when one door closes, another opens. In the case of Walzer,
dodge the bullet.
The first one simply opened again.
Oh, they were yelling and screaming here.
The Bloomington store was one of about 36 GM dealers in Minnesota that got a GM Dear John letter a couple of weeks ago. Monday night, Walzer got a call from GM saying they had changed their mind. One of about a dozen dealerships that got a reprieve out of the 1,500 who got the letter. And the Walzer believe it was Senator Amy Klobuchar's work in Washington, D.C. last week. Did it.
When Senator Klobuchar told Walzer that they had an interview with the top people at GM, we thought this is going to be a 5 or 10 minute deal in a back room. They sat down with him for an hour and a half.
They believe GM didn't fully comprehend how busy it is along 494 or the loyalty of their customers.
Just another boring month in the car business.
Loyalty from people like Lilla, who took a stroll among the new Buicks.
Thinking about it.
Seriously, you couldn't have invented a spokesperson like this.
But that Skylark, that heavy car saved my life.
Now, GM dealers that are being cut have until October of next year to remain dealers. But the catch is they're not going to get any more cars after this month. So a lot of those dealerships are going to run out long before then. In the newsroom, Rob Wilson, Fox 9 News.
If you haven't paid your taxes this year, you are not alone. The Minnesota Department of Revenue is trying to track down nearly $490 million in unpaid taxes. That's about $30 million more than the year before. The state has 300 people trying to collect the money, and every dollar counts, going towards the $2.7 billion budget deficit.
The hero of the Hudson went back to Capitol Hill to talk about his now famous crash landing. U.S. Airways Captain Sully Sullenberger testified at the NTSB's hearings on Flight 1549. Back in January, Sullenberger guided the plane into the Hudson River after it hit some birds. All 155 people on board survived. Sullenberger gave his credit to his crew.
By observing each other's actions and hearing our transmissions and our reports to others, we were able to quickly be on the same page, know what needed to be done, and begin to do it.
Captain Sullenberger also says any warning about birds in the area would have been little value because there wouldn't have been enough specifics to watch out for. The NTSB is looking into safety questions such as efforts to prevent bird strikes. So far, more air travelers are reaching their destinations on time this year. According to the Bureau of Transportation, just over 79% of all the flights in 2009 arrived on time. That's up from 72% in 2008. When it comes to individual airports, Twin Cities International ranked in the top 10 for both on-time arrivals and departures in 2009. 82% of its flights arrived on time. 86% left on time. 2 people are missing and 21 others are injured after an explosion caused a Slim Jim plant to collapse. It happened late this morning near Raleigh, North Carolina. Several hours later, firefighters are still struggling to put out a fire and contain an ammonia leak. The cause of that explosion is under investigation.
Cleanup continues, and our survey teams are assessing the damage in southern Illinois that could have been caused by a tornado. Treetops cut off, a roof just ripped away from a barn, fences toppled, homes with part of their structures missing. There were 3 reports of tornadoes across the area, according to the National Weather Service. More than 3,000 customers are still without power, but No injuries have been reported. Home video shows people trying to take cover during Sunday's tornadoes in Colorado. Workers at one business in Aurora had their cameras rolling when the twister moved in. No one was hurt. At least 5 tornadoes touched down in Colorado Sunday, uprooting trees, causing gas leaks, and all sorts of other problems. And I think Beth said, stay inside when you're good. Do they always try and catch this?
I know.